Hey everybody, Dr. Giggles here from SFNEOnline and of course the host of Your Grove Show. Today's video is probably like more like a rant video, but to cause out a conversation. And what I mean by that is let's talk about it, let's see what you guys think, and we'll go from there. So today's video is going to be, for those that saw the financial yearly endings for Six Flags, and how it looks good but not really good and all that. And I think there's multiple reasons, and we're going to talk about that. And the main reason is the cloning of rides, where all the parks having the same exact rides everywhere, is that killing their potential future growth, basically. Something along those lines. So before we get into that, if you dig this video by the end of it, click the like button. Leave us a comment, what you think. Also, don't forget to subscribe if you're new here, because that helps us out. We're trying to hit 1,000, and we're going to be having a video coming out from starting to get to 700 all the way to 1,000. We got mystery boxes coming out, the yin yang, that we're going to be giving away just for being a subscriber. You don't have to do anything else but that. It's just subscribe, and you put into the drawing. I just put 1 to, say it is 700, 1 to 700, and then whatever number that is down the subscriber list, that's who wins. That's it. That's all it is. So anyway, so let's get into this, what will potentially be like a rant and whatever thing. So my feeling is, people used to go to all the parks all the time, right? We would travel because there was different unique things, right? It's always, you know, there were different coasters, different flats, there were unique things. And I know, and I've talked on the Grove Show plenty about the lack of innovation in flat rides. You're limited, so you're going to get a lot of the same stuff. Because for some reason, the companies that make flat rides aren't thinking outside the box, or thinking inside the box and getting the old stuff and making it new for today's safety standards. I don't know why they're not doing this. It would be a gold mine if you could get some old rides that, like, they ripped them out because nobody was making parts. Maybe a company went out of business. But there are companies that made flat rides back in the day that were unique, you don't see anymore, or they're a dying breed. And then it needs to be something new brought into stuff. You can't keep having the same thing in every park. It just sucks. And I think that's part of the reason why people are just like, you know, one, I hate to say this and I may get scrutinized for it, but the season pass prices are way too cheap, like the regular passes. Six Flags, I think, has become a babysitter place. It's become your babysitter in the summer. A parent can drop the kid off on the way to work. Kid goes, and then after work, come pick them up. Between the meal plans being really cheap, I mean, realistically, even at $90 a person for the whole season to eat, that's really cheap. I mean, not that I want, like, my pass to cost me $500-600 a piece, but you know, with meal plans and stuff like that, I think there's room for raising the price. Now, people are like, no, I like it cheap. You need to, one, get rid of the riffraff. That's causing a problem. They're destroying the parks. They're making it dirty. They're doing graffiti and doing all that stuff. When you have the way I look at it is, when you have a demographic of people that, you know, they find the cheapest entertainment as possible. And what's happening is, I think people are going, I'm sick of this stuff. These unruly kids that are causing so much crap because their parents dropped them off. And people don't want to deal with that. People are sick and tired of one train operations when there should be two. You see different parks, and I see it all over the place, where they don't have enough people in place. Either they didn't hire enough, they didn't schedule enough people, so food lines are becoming atrocious. Ride lines are building up, and I know they're trying to sell you their Flash Pass, and, you know, whatever parks there are. It could be anything, but I'm just going with Six Flags for this. And so with the Flash Pass, it gets crazy. I think going forward, because if you look at all the 4Ds, all the Sky Screamers, now we're getting all, you know, like the Harley Quinns, the giant spinning pendulum rides, and all the Lost and Loopers. I think it's coming back to bite them in the ass. Then, granted, they're putting an attraction in every park every year, and they're buying in bulk, like you're going to Costco or BJ's or whatever, Sam's Club, and you're getting a good deal, but is it really paying off? That's the thing. Now, I love Six Flags I'm a total fanboy. I love Cedar Fair parks and stuff like that. I just love going to parks. It doesn't matter. I'm not particular to one or the other. I just like going. I just enjoy the whole aspect and stuff. And I would talk trash about any company doing this. It's just that Six Flags is known for this, and I think it's hurting them. And I hope that somebody from Six Flags is watching this because they need to hear the truth, even from a fan of the parks. You know, I've told, you know, at New England, I've told management and stuff, it's like, I am always going to support you whether you do the right thing or the wrong thing. I may not always support it. You know, I may not always agree, but I'll support it. So far, they haven't really done too much to make me go, I ain't supporting that, nope. There was one thing a few years ago that really pissed me off, but I got over it. I get it, especially in this politically correct world. I get it now. You know, you have to tiptoe around the tulips, so to speak. But if you get what I'm saying is the cloning needs to stop. And if you look at Six Flags New England, there's so many duplicates. You have Flashback and Goliath. You have Cyborg and Kryptonite Collider. You have Tomahawk and you have Harley Quinn. You have Sky Screamer and you have, what do you call it? Crime Wave. I know they give different experiences, but they're the similar type rides that I think stuff needs to go. Like, I can understand keeping Crime Wave and Sky Screamer, like, totally different heights. Like, Crime Wave can be the introduction before someone's brave enough to go on the big one. But when you have Flashback and Goliath and they do exactly the same thing, except one, you sit in the car and you're in the car versus your feet dangling, it's the same ride. Different experience to an extent. Tomahawk is a smaller version and spins more than Harley Quinn. I get where you're going, but there's too many similar rides. Like Cyborg and Kryptonite Collider are exactly the same thing. Seat positions are different, but it's exactly the same thing. Like, I think it's time for parks to not do that anymore, and I think it's time to end these Sky Screamers and 4D coasters and go on to something different. And instead of cloning and putting the same layout on coasters, do different. Because, like, I know, like, Max Force, like, at Great America, is going to get cloned. It's going to get pimped out. You know, New England needs a launch coaster. We don't have one. And I have a feeling it's going to be the same exact layout. And yes, we'll be happy to have a launch, but the point I'm making is I plan on going to Great America to go ride Max Force, but if I don't get there in time, by the time New England gets theirs, if they get one, then why am I going to go to Great America to ride that? Now, you just lost me to go to that park and spend money at that park because you keep putting the same rides everywhere else. Like, I'm like, oh, well, I got that here. Or I can go to Great Adventure. Or I could, you know what I mean? I can go to Great Escape. Or, you know what I mean? Closer places instead of traveling far out. You know, because they're all putting the same... And I don't understand... Well, I kind of do in a business aspect. You're trying to get more bang for your buck. And I'm just sick and tired of it. And I just wish that they would just stop it. It makes me sick all the time. The other thing is they need to... we're going to give it the benefit of the doubt and see what 2019 brings with the food. Because they're going to do mobile ordering, and if they can get that in check where you don't have to wait in long lines to get your food, that would be a bonus. They also need to add more staff. My experience with Six Flags New England, like, Take 6 becomes horrendous because you have the wrong workers working in that spot. Like, in that restaurant, because it's very busy, you need to have your top-tiered workers that work there. I get it. A lot of kids are trying to get a paycheck, learn how to do things, but they're there for the paycheck. They don't give a crap about their job. And hiring the wrong people is doing that. I know you're trying to save money. You don't want to hire and pay crazy amount of money. Like, they wouldn't hire me to operate a ride or work at a cashier because I'd want more money and I would be more efficient and run circles around them. They're not going to pay me. They're not going to have me do that kind of job. I mean, unless I was like older and retired and wanted just some income supplement and didn't really care, then they would be like, oh yeah, just go do that, you know, whatever. But as young as I am, old, whatever, I could run circles around these kids, and I get it. It's summertime. You meet, you know, guys want to meet girls. Girls want to meet guys. They're excited. They're working at a park. They're having fun, making friends. They're doing a thing, and that's how work environment should be. But when you're operating, whether it's food, serving food, rides, games, be on top of what you're doing. It's okay to have fun and talk with, you know, the fans and the customers and you know, and all that, but do it in an efficient way. and everything works out. Well, right now, Six Flags has that problem, and I think that's why people they're going to other parks. Right now, the economy is pretty solid. You know, I personally feel like there's a recession coming. I mean, I'm not feeling it, but like personally, but I think there's one coming, and I think then people are going to start going local again. But right now, people have money to spend. People are going other way. They're like, well, you know what? I don't want to deal with the riffraff. I'm going to go Disney or Universal or Dollywood or somewhere else other than Six Flags. And that's a problem. And it's an easy way to fix the problem. Here's how you fix the problem. And I've been talking about it in this video. I know it's rambling and all over the place. But 1, stop cloning rides. Get unique stuff. 2, make sure your workers are very properly well-trained, and make sure that your supervisors and managers are on top of your employees, not to be slacking, and on top of it, to be able to handle the rush. I get it. Sometimes you're understaffed. You didn't plan for a day to be as busy as it was. I've seen holidays at parks, and they were well understaffed. I get it. Maybe you don't have the employees. Maybe you just didn't schedule it right. I don't know what the reasoning is. I don't work there, so I don't know. But from my observations, I've noticed that they've been trying to keep the parks as clean as possible. Far from perfect, but I notice if they can keep the food areas clean, keeping the sodas filled, the ice filled, making sure everything is clean as possible, the parks are clean as possible, stop cloning the rides, get unique stuff. There's nothing that they've really released at most parks to make people go, I need that season pass. Now, certain rides have shown an uptick in passes, like Sky Screamer at Six Flags America. Watch their season pass sales go up. Now, the retheme of their coaster coming on, it's probably not going to do much. If you get where I'm going with that. So if they can fix these areas about it and stop nickel and diamond people and make sure your operations are good. If you got 2 trains, put the 2 trains out. Schedule your workers. I know it's stupid, but you want to save money. You're not there to like blow money and lose money. But I think you're better off, all right, if it ends up being a slow day, cut people to go home early. If not, you're going to lose sales because you didn't have enough people. And then you're going to lose customers in the long run because they had a bad experience. You know, the customer will go and they'll bitch and complain in emails, phone calls, social media, and you go, I'm so sorry, and they'll give them free tickets or something. But then but it's already out there and people have seen a bad time. So what I'm trying to do is, while this sounds like a negative video, I also want it to be a positive experience. Instead of when people comment trash the parks, this video is here so that you guys can comment down below. I can gather these comments and get them to Six Flags. I want it to be positive. I want the end result to become positive. I want everybody to leave comments down below on ways you think that I haven't said to fix. Like, if you're not from New England, if you're from any other Six Flags, what do you see at your parks that need improvement? Is it maintenance on buildings, maintenance on rides, operations, food lines, etc.? Put it down. I mean, we don't have to be all negative Nancy about it, but we can get that information to the parks. And then by them knowing what's going on, they know where to attack and where to fix. So hopefully this video helps you out a little bit. Let's get that conversation rolling. Again, make sure you subscribe, like, comment, share the hell out of this, and let's have some fun with it. So until next time, everybody, keep on coasting, y'all. Peace.
I'm gonna lose my mind, might not make it out this time. I'm choking on every breath. They tell you that life's not fair. Well, it's not.